Waking up and checking your security cameras should not have to be a part of your daily routine. But after watching these videos, it'll become like brushing your teeth. Welcome to the ScareZone. A resident in Hudson, Wisconsin awoke one morning to a peculiar sight outside her window, footprints in the snow. Intrigued, she ventured outside to investigate and realized that the footprints led straight to her bedroom window before retracing their path. Concerned that someone had intentionally peered into her window, she promptly installed a security camera directed towards the window. Several nights later, the camera captured the individual responsible for the footprints returning. Clearly seen peering into the window, the incident was reported to the police, who were provided with the recorded footage. After conducting an investigation, authorities were able to trace the vehicle seen leaving the scene back to a man named Robert Cesinga, a highly regarded executive at 3M, as per his LinkedIn profile. The man depicted in the video bore striking resemblance to Robert Cesinga. When contacted by the police, Cesinga vehemently denied any involvement. Subsequently, the police interviewed multiple witnesses within the neighborhood and gathered additional evidence that ultimately contradicted Cesinga's claims. It was determined that he was indeed the individual captured in the video. As a result, Robert Cesinga faced charges of felony stalking and was subsequently terminated from his executive position at 3M. This is the footage captured by a home security camera in Vacaville, California. It happened in April, a time of year when the streets are often bustling with kids walking home from school in the afternoons. At some point during the day, a girl wearing a backpack appears in the frame. Like the other children, she was making her way home from school. However, what sets her apart is that she had been followed by a man driving a dark-colored Pontiac for several blocks. Sensing danger, she cleverly used a large parked truck to conceal herself. While out of the Pontiac's view, she abruptly stops walking, causing the driver to halt, anticipating her return into sight. After realizing she isn't coming back, he lingers for a while before reluctantly driving away. Uncertain of what to do next, the girl remains hidden behind the truck. Eventually, she spots the car returning and opts to stay put, out of sight. The Pontiac drives by, then reverses in an attempt to approach the girl. However, she continuously repositions herself to remain hidden. Frustrated, the driver eventually drives off again, and the girl seizes the opportunity to make a run for it. Following multiple tips about the driver and his vehicle, the police launch an investigation. They identify a 24-year-old man as the driver and interview him, but he is not arrested as he had technically not committed a crime. As a result, law enforcement is limited in their actions, and it remains unknown whether the man had any sinister intentions that day. On the evening of February 20th, 2022, Allie Porth, a mother of 2 daughters, embarked on a shopping trip with her children. Upon their return home, captured by their home security camera, they were seen entering their house and closing the door behind them. Soon after, an unidentified man emerged from around their parked truck and attempted to open the door.
Who are you talking to? Why? Why?
Although he walked away momentarily, it was later revealed by a neighbor's camera that he circled the house while engaged on his phone for approximately 5 minutes. Upon further review of the footage, it became evident that this individual had been tailing them in his car from the store. Moments after they parked in the driveway, the man's vehicle proceeded a short distance and parked several houses away. After a brief pause, he exited the car and approached their location. Fortunately, Allie and her daughters managed to secure themselves inside the house before his arrival. In her account, Allie concluded, "I don't know what this man's intentions were, but I don't think it was to rob us. I do believe that this was random and that we are not specifically targeted, but that he saw an opportunity when he saw a woman and 2 girls go into a house alone." Local law enforcement was promptly notified, and an extensive search of the area ensued. However, the individual captured in the video footage remains unidentified. In 2015, a couple residing in San Jose, California experienced a distressing home invasion incident. Unfortunately, the perpetrators were never identified. Upon the recommendation of the local authorities, the couple took measures to enhance their home security by installing a comprehensive network of 6 surveillance cameras. Tragically, on May 8th of that same year, these cameras captured a subsequent break-in. 2 individuals dressed in black attire were observed scaling a fence into the backyard and subsequently entering through an unlocked sliding glass door. Once inside, they swiftly proceeded to the kitchen area, where one of the intruders disconnected a telephone. With an intent to arm themselves, the intruders rummaged through the kitchen, discovering and seizing kitchen knives. Another camera footage revealed them ascending the stairs, brandishing the knives. As they continued their search in the upstairs rooms, one of the men came across a locked door, the entrance to the master bedroom. Upon hearing the cries of a baby within, the intruder alerted his accomplice to the presence of individuals in the house. Rather than retreating, the men resorted to violently kicking in the door, ultimately creating a hole through which they thrust their knives. In an act of bravery, a family friend named Rosie, who was babysitting the couple's child, swiftly took the child and sought refuge in the bathroom, securing the door behind her. Rosie courageously informed the intruders that the police had been called. Faced with this unexpected turn of events, the intruders hastily retreated, unable to fully breach the bedroom. Despite a thorough review of the recorded footage, law enforcement authorities were regrettably unable to ascertain the identities or motives of the intruders. Given their deliberate disconnection of the phones and their decision to arm themselves with kitchen knives, it is difficult to believe that their intentions were solely limited to robbery. Additionally, their prolonged presence within the residence as they attempted to forcibly gain access to the individuals inside raises further questions about their true motives. Margaret Woodward, a 68-year-old resident of Long Eaton, a town in England, experienced a series of unfortunate break-ins throughout 2013. Despite the advice from the local police, it was only after 5 incidents that she decided to install home security cameras. The footage captured 6 instances of break-ins, one of which occurred around 1 a.m., when an intruder silently wandered around while Margaret peacefully slept in her living room.
I'll make the request. I just need you to get him on the phone. He'll take your call. You guys have been friends since law school.
As a friend, I would have to advise
Yeah,
you.
he's already done 35 years.
I'm not suggesting he stay in prison.
You're gonna have an apartment small and actually conditions that he pleads guilty to the prison murder and gets sentenced to time served.
So the upstate DA and the warden get what they...
Unfortunately, she remained unaware as the intruder quietly made off with several of her belongings, only to be startled awake by the blaring alarm. Reacting quickly, Margaret, armed with her cane, courageously pursued the intruder. Shockingly, Patrick managed to steal approximately $1,000 from Margaret's home. Thanks to the footage, the police were finally able to identify the culprit as 51-year-old Patrick Reed, who was responsible for all 6 break-ins. Shockingly, Patrick managed to steal approximately $1,000 from Margaret's home. As a consequence of his actions, Patrick Reed was sentenced to a term of 4 years and 8 months in prison. Before we get into number 1, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this video and want to see more like this one. In October 2016, a Florida family discovered several missing items from their residence. Despite being present the night before, these belongings mysteriously vanished by morning. To identify the intruders, the family meticulously reviewed their home security footage. At 1:30 a.m., the cameras captured an individual meticulously navigating the house, mere feet away from 3 sleeping children on the couches. This audacious culprit scoured the area for valuables and surreptitiously passed them to an accomplice stationed outside. Disturbingly, the latter individual was armed. Immediately upon witnessing this footage, the family promptly contacted the authorities, who initiated an investigation. Unfortunately, the 2 individuals captured in the video were never apprehended. Law enforcement officials speculate that had anyone in the house awoken during the burglary, the outcome could have been tragically violent.